Hey guys, what's up? In this video, as promised, I'm gonna talk to you about fear, about my understanding of fear, some of the main things why we get fear in our life. Fear is destructive emotion, right? It is destructive vibration. We don't want to be afraid. We don't want to be in fear. We don't want to be operating from fear. Okay, so what are the main causes of fear in our life? First thing is attachment and wanting to control. Attachment to the outcome. Like you're working towards something or you're doing something, but you're attached to a certain outcome. Okay, you are under the illusion that you have control or that you want control of everything. Matter of fact, that in life you cannot control a lot of things. You cannot control. There's a lot of things that you cannot control. Okay, and what happens is that we become attached to the outcome, and we begin to need the outcome that we're looking for. Okay, we become needy. We need that outcome, and then when you need something, when you make yourself believe that you need something, then you can't live without it, and then you get attached, and then you start fearing not having that outcome. Okay, like an example, somebody who's a performer, he performs alone at home some musical instrument, and he's doing a wonderful job, but when you put him in front of a public, he will do a horrible job because he feels fear. Or maybe he will not do a horrible job, but at least he will feel the fear, a fear that he didn't feel when he was playing at home in front of his family. But when you tell him, okay, we're gonna put you in front of 1,000 people, now you're gonna sing or you're gonna perform in front of these people, fear will arise in his mind. Why? Because he might want to control the outcome. He gets attached to the outcome. He wants to, secure or ensure that the people, the public is gonna like what he's doing, his performance, and by that he wants to control that. He wants to be in control of that situation. We want control. But the thing is, if that person understood that he cannot control everything, there are certain things in life you cannot control. Okay? We just cannot control that thing. So what happens is just, you accept. You accept on the other side. This is the cure. You accept that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I cannot control everything. I cannot control. You have to practice detachment from the outcome. You have to put the work in, do your best, and be detached from the outcome. Not need the outcome. I made a video in my YouTube about detachment, where I talk about detachment from the outcome. Go check it out. Okay? Another thing that a person can do is, I don't know if you can read from there, but preparation. Get stronger. The stronger you are, the more prepared you are, the less fearful you're going to be. You're prepared to face whatever could arise. Okay? You are prepared. You have enough preparation that even if you jump into that stage and you're in front of those 1,000 people and you're performing and you make a mistake or you forget something, you have so much preparation, so much work that you've done on yourself, on your skill, that you can quickly find a solution and deal with the situation, and that will give you a certain level of confidence. That will diminish fear. Okay, so this is the number one cause of fear, is wanting to control outcomes. And like wanting to control, you cannot control everything. Most of the things, let's say a lot of things that in life we cannot control. We're not going to control it. Okay, and whatever happens. Whatever happens. Okay, you do your best, and that's it. God knows best. I put here, God knows best. Certain situation, God knows best. You don't know. God in His wisdom can place certain things in your way, can force certain outcomes to happen that might seem negative, but later on you discover, oh, that was actually positive. It made me change ways. It made me think a different way. It made me take a different route. Okay, so stop wanting to control. Just accept, surrender, and accept that there's a lot of things that you cannot control. You are going to do your best, and God knows best, and that's it. Okay, and get prepared, become stronger, become skilled, prepare as much as possible, and that way your fear will diminish. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so another thing here, this is a big one. Ignorance. Ignorance is a cause of fear, is a major cause of fear. Because what you don't know, you fear what you don't know. What you don't understand, you fear. And for example, a lot of people have fear when they go to an airplane, fear to fly, you know. And they ask somebody this is a story about two passengers. One of them had fear of airplanes, of flying, and the other one was sitting next to him, so relaxed, didn't care, didn't seem to care. And the other one asked him, "Why are you not afraid? Why are you not afraid?" He told him, "I make these things. I make these planes. I know how they function." He told him, "If you put enough thrust behind the rock, a rock will fly. I mean, chill. You know, we are cool. I understand how these things function." So the more understanding you have, the less fearful you're going to be. Understanding about the situation. Okay? The more you understand about yourself, the more you understand your power, your creative power, the less fearful you're going to be dealing with life. Because if you understand that you have a creative power, that you can create, that you don't have to be a victim to your circumstances, you're going to be less fearful. Fear will disappear, will diminish when you understand. Okay? I'm gonna share this with you. This is something that I had on my desk a long time ago. This, not this one, forget about this. This here. Here, on one side, we have understanding, knowledge. Knowledge plus understanding lead to fear, to faith, sorry. On the other side, ignorance causes worry and doubt. When you are ignorant, you don't understand, you will only see life through your five senses. You will only see life through your five senses. And whatever circumstance you have in front of you, and in most cases it's going to be negative, if you're afraid, then everything you see is feeding that negativity in your vibration. So you start vibrating at a negative rate. You start worrying and doubting. That puts you in chaotic vibration. That vibration is called fear. Okay? That fear will, if it stays long enough in your body, it will turn to anxiety. And that anxiety is suppressed. You don't go and talk to people about your anxiety, you suppress it. And that suppression will turn into depression. Depression will turn into disease in the body. And that will lead to decay. You're literally destroying yourself. When you are in that negative vibration, you're literally destroying your body. You're causing your body to get sick. Okay? On the other hand, on the other side, we have understanding, knowledge and understanding. And understanding knowledge comes only through studying. You need to study. Study what? Study yourself. Study your mind. Study your powers, your creative power. And I'm gonna make soon, God's will, a series about creating, about how to create, how to reach a goal, how to create an outcome. Okay? So once you understand, you have faith. Understanding causes faith. Okay? Faith will lead to well-being, and well-being is expressed and you're at ease, and then you create. When you have faith, you create. Okay? So this is point number 2, ignorance. When you're just ignorant, you don't even know how things function, how the world functions, how your mind functions. You're just, anything will make you scared. Any circumstance that comes your way will cause you to feel fear. Because you don't know how to secure this thing, you don't know how to do this, you don't know how the money is going to show up, you don't know how to navigate life and how to get where you want to get, and that causes fear. Fear of losing, fear of not getting there. That's all based, the cause is ignorance, because you don't know how to reach your goals. Okay? Then you have these negative imagination. That's also a caused by ignorance. A negative imagination. you start imagining negative scenarios in your head, okay? You start imagining negative outcomes. And studies were made that, and the result is that most of the negative things you think about, they never come to reality. Most of the things that we think about negatively never come. Those worries never come to reality. Never become real. It's just imaginary in our head, most of them. Okay? So we need to understand. We need to study and start getting some knowledge, understanding how your mind works, how you can create circumstances favorable to you. Okay? So on the other side, the cure is understanding, studying. Understanding only comes through studying. Most of our worries don't become true. Okay? Most of the things we worry about, as I said, they're just imaginary evils. They don't even become true. And here I wrote here, raise your vibration. Raise your vibrational state. Don't stay in a low vibration. A low vibration, even when you're tired or you feel, or somebody bothers you, or you heard a bad news, if you're in that low, if your vibration goes low, and that will make you feel fear and easily be afraid. So I made a video. I have videos about how to raise your vibration. Very important. Go check it out. How to raise your vibrations through workouts, through meditation. There's different tools. Okay. Here we have number 3: running away from something that you fear. If you have a fear and you're running away from it, you're only making the fear bigger. You're only making it worse because it amplifies in your head. It amplifies in your head. Don't run away from something you're afraid of. You have to face it. Logically and rationally, face it. They say when you face the fear, and fear will disappear. The Stoics have a practice. They actually imagine that negative scenario that they are trying to, that they are maybe afraid of. They actually imagine it as happening in their mind. They imagine it as a reality. And what they do is that when they imagine that thing happening already, then once it happened in their imagination, you're not afraid anymore. That's it. In your own head, it happened. That's it, it happened. Then they deal with it. They rationalize and deal with it once it happened. Okay? And that makes them fear it less. When they go back to reality, they make that practice that they do, it makes it easier to deal with that fear because they already experienced that outcome that they were afraid of, and it happened already, and now they're not that afraid from that outcome. Okay, because they went into that position and they imagined how they would deal with the situation. Okay, so face your fears and it will disappear. Face the fear. You can face your fear, but it doesn't mean that the danger is going away. A situation could be dangerous, a situation could be tough, but you can face it with fear or you can face it without fear. Okay, you have two choices. Once you summon that courage in you and you face whatever you're running away from, that fear, trust me, will disappear. It will disappear because fear is just an emotion, just an illusion there. Situation is still the same. You can deal with it while you're afraid, or you can deal with it without being afraid. Okay? That's called courage. Courage is dealing with that first rush of emotions that want to make you run away. And trust me, when you deal with the situation in a courageous state, you are going to deal with it in a better way. Now, if you're afraid, most likely you will get hurt. This happens in martial arts a lot. If a person is afraid, he's more likely to get hurt because you cannot attract to yourself that negative outcome. But if you deal with a dangerous situation with courage, you are more likely to survive. This is well known in the martial art and fighting world. Okay? I even remember once it happened to me when I was younger. We were crossing somewhere and it was a bit slippery and dangerous. We were jumping, when I was a kid, we were jumping on top of some slippery rocks. We were next to the beach, next to the sea. Not the beach, it was the sea. It was a dangerous spot in Morocco back then when I was young. And I was afraid. I was afraid that I was gonna slip. And that idea stayed in my head, and I was afraid. Guess what happened? I slipped. I was afraid that I'm gonna slip and I'm gonna break my leg or something. And then it happened. I slipped and I fell, and I grabbed one of these big ass rocks, and I hurt myself, but I didn't break my leg. Once it happened, my cousin was there with me. Told me, "Hey, what's the matter with you? Just stand up and walk like everybody else. Stop being a wussy." And this is exactly what I did. Once that situation happened, I was no longer afraid. I stood up and I jumped around these rocks, and I just passed that passage that was a bit dangerous. But that fear caused me to actually fall. You know, you don't want to have that vibration in you. Okay. Number 4, negative environment. Negative environment is one of the biggest, if you will, one of the biggest fear providers in the world. Like, if you're in a negative environment, you are going to be in such a fearful state. You're going to have so much fear, because everybody around you have fear. Everybody is around you is afraid, and that fear is an energy. It's contagious. It's like a disease. It's like when somebody has a flu or something. When somebody has a flu, you don't need to touch him. You're just being around him, you're gonna get sick. Okay? Same way with the negative environment, where everybody's afraid, everybody's like worried and shit. Everybody walks around like they have no power, like they have no power in them. Everybody's a victim. We are victims of circumstances. We are victims of this, we are victims of that. We have no power. Of course, it's contagious. Don't stay there. Go move to a positive environment. If you move and if you stay around people that are not afraid, trust me, you're going to become courageous. You are going to become courageous. But environment is a big thing. Environment will affect you most than anything else. So here you have it, guys. This is a few main reasons why we get afraid, why we experience fear in our life. Think about it and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have a question, I will answer it, obviously. Peace.